Hi everybody, and welcome to Performing Arts Honors Night. My name is Mr. Posner, band director, and while we were so sad that we were not able to do this in person along with the other amazing events throughout the rest of the year, we know that this has been, at least our first 3/4 of the year was outstanding, and there were some really terrific events, from Fiddler on the Roof to the marching band season to the Clue performance by the theater department, and all the choir performances and the holidays and everything that has gone on with our terrific bands, orchestras, choirs, and theaters this year. We want to make sure that we at least do something to honor you, the terrific students out there, for all of the hard work and effort you put into your particular band, orchestra, choir, or theater this year. So we wanted to make this little video to show how appreciative we were of you, to honor some individual students, and then of course to honor our terrific seniors. So I'm going to move on to the band and talk about what a great year we had this year. We started off with a great marching band season. Our show was terrific this year, a Western theme. The marching band ended up getting a perfect sheet from every judge in every subcategory, all A's, this year at Festival, and it was a terrific year and the biggest band we've ever had in history, and we hope to top it next year with the next biggest band we've ever had. Also at Band and Orchestra Festival, every band got all ones, all straight ones, which is the first time that's ever happened in school history. And the symphony band also got all A's. So really fine and terrific performances from all of our large groups. We had a terrific solo and ensemble year as well from both the band and orchestra, and we're going to share those names and those outstanding ratings now. District 4 Honors Band, we had some students nominated and participated in that awesome event. We had Stephen Elias on alto sax, Matthew Gutman on tuba, Jonathan Ragogian on percussion, Joshua Bikos on alto saxophone, Aaron Washington on clarinet, Grant Rhodes on tuba, Andre Lozano on percussion, and Samantha Beckelay on oboe. So it was a really, really great performance and an awesome event, even though it ended a little early because of the weather. We also had one student make from band the All-State Ensemble, which was really terrific. We had Matthew Gutman represent the band and the All-State Band this year. He did a terrific job with that group. Also want to take this time now to recognize our outstanding groups from marching band that really put forth a lot of extra effort. We had our drum line and our color guard do really amazing things this year. We're gonna share those names now with the drum line. And here's the color guard. I should mention our drumline captains, our drumline section leaders this year were Jonathan Margosian and Maddie Hedges, as well as our color guard captains were Lindsay Beck and Julia Bramjic, and our assistant captains were Maddie Taitang and Veronica Cruz. So thank you guys for a terrific season, and great job to everybody involved in color guard and drumline. We know that's a lot of extra work, and thank you. And by the way, we'll get you all of your special pins and letters and all that as soon as it's safe to. I want to also now bring some students on the video now. Our drum majors this year, Kushal Sanjeev, Matthew Gutman, and Katie Heath, they all did an outstanding job this year. This is one of, if not the finest class of drum majors that we've ever had, and they did an amazing job working for you guys. So we're going to have them share a little message now.
Hi everyone, I hope you all are well. On behalf of Matthew, Kushal, and I, we'd like to thank the entire music community for making our last year special and one to remember. As fun as it was to be drum major, it would not have been possible without the endless support from each and every one of you, so thank you. We know that the band is in good hands, and we look forward to seeing what the future may hold. In the meantime, we'd like to share some advice that the three of us have learned over the past 4 years for the new leadership and the band as a whole. Looking back, it's such an amazing opportunity to be part of a strong community. Always try and be present and in the moment, and soak up all the experiences while you can. And while it may seem difficult as well, you should try and bring your best self to every single rehearsal and event. And lastly, if we can leave you with a key piece of advice, it would be to not be afraid of stepping outside your comfort zone. It may seem uncomfortable or awkward, but stepping outside of your comfort zone is often taking a step towards the right direction. Being a member of the performing arts community has impacted each of us in unique ways, and that is something we will never forget.
Entering high school, just like everyone else my age, I had absolutely no clue what I wanted to do with my life, and never had it cross my mind that I'd want to pursue a future in music. Yet, here I am today, preparing to major in music education at Michigan State University, with aspirations to steal Mr. Posner's job. Being in band has shaped my goals and ambitions not just for high school, but for my entire life. When I first got to band in high school, I was hesitant and not interested in it. But that first day of pre-camp for marching band completely flipped my world upside down. Band helped me find my family and my future. It changed me from that awkward kid to that awkward band kid with a lot of friends. Having the opportunity to be in the band, whether as a section member, a section leader, or a drum major, would have meant nothing if it weren't for the family I was welcomed into that first day of pre-camp. The friendships and experiences that have crafted this incredible camaraderie in all of the performing arts programs at our school has changed many lives, including mine, and it will continue to change many more.
Every year when the leadership application goes out, there is this one question: what does band mean to you? Every time I've had the chance to answer it, I could always sum it up with one word: family. Performing arts part of our school is truly a tight-knit community, but within band, we all grew very close to one another. Whether it was picking each other up during the lows or celebrating the highs, we were always there to support one another. There's so many moments over the years that stand out, whether it was Mr. Posner doing the U-Box fundamental with a quad, or a tuba, or a bass drum, or any of the late-night rehearsals in the rain. Every moment was truly special in some way, shape, or form. But one memory that stands out above the rest was this year at Festival. We often get to see culminating work in group projects or classroom tasks, but seeing a group of 160 plus kids coming together with the additional help from countless parents and staff members one final night was truly memorable. I remember while we were setting up and waiting for the go signal that night, Matthew, Katie, and I were going around high-fiving everyone, and it was so nice because at that moment, we didn't care it was cold, weren't fearful of upcoming tests, and we weren't afraid of messing up. We were out there on that field to be with each other and have a great time regardless of whatever score we would get in the end. From the senior class of 2020, if there's anything we have to say to all of you existing and future band members, it's cherish the moments. Cherish the bus rides to band camp, cherish the cadences to and from the games, and most of all, cherish every band rehearsal. Because if this year has shown us anything, it's that you never know which moment may be your last with your band family. So from the bottom of the hearts of the senior class of 2020, thank you for making these past 4 years the best.
Jazz band had a terrific year. Unfortunately, they were the part of band that was most cut short. We have most of our jazz activities later in the year. Jazz Festival was canceled. The TAC Jazz Festival out in Hastings, Michigan was canceled. So we did have the biggest jazz band in history again, 60 students in total between the jazz ensemble and jazz lab. But it was a good year for jazz, and we hope to do more with it next year moving forward. Want to get to our individual awards. Okay, we have first the MSBOA Scholar Musician. This is an award that is recognized throughout MSBOA. Each school gets to nominate one outstanding student from band and one from orchestra. And I think everybody receiving an individual award tonight. And by the way, these were very tough decisions. It was a small group of seniors this year, but really a very special group. And it was really hard to decide between these because there were just so many great seniors that we don't really get to say goodbye to. But I know that I love each and one of you so much, and it's really hard to say goodbye. And hopefully we can do something for you guys when this is all over. But our back to our MSBOA Scholar. I don't know how I'm going to do my job as well as I did this year without this student. This student made so many facets of what I do easier because he did them. From loading the trailer to getting things organized to just being an outstanding leader, a great person. He really even elevated his playing a lot. And he was a good player when he came into high school, but really, took it upon himself to become a great player. He's not going to major in music, but really, could tell he was passionate about music, passionate about band, and passionate about his section and making sure that things were done and done well. So this year's MSBOA Scholar Musician is Jonathan Margosian. Congratulations, Jonathan. Now to our Louis Armstrong Award for Jazz. This student was in jazz band all 4 years. He's not a really serious jazz musician, but really, took the class seriously and got into improv and really flourished with everything that he did with that. Another reason he's receiving the award is because of the outstanding student and band member that he was. I remember meeting him very vividly and even hearing about him because he was like the last person to turn in his marching band forms, and I had to extend the deadline for him. And then I remember he came up to me like at the end of his freshman year, he was like, I might go to IA, and I'm like, you can't. This band means too much to you and you mean too much to it. He elevated himself to drum major this year, was always an outstanding member of whether it was the 9th grade band or symphony band, and really just a really personable guy that just someone very easy to talk to, and I'm sure whatever he ends up doing with his life, he's going to be successful with it because of the personality and drive and work ethic that he has. So this year's Louis Armstrong Award for Jazz goes to Kushal Sanjeev. Congratulations, Kushal. Next, our Band Service Award. This young lady, she really embodies what it means to be a great band member and give unconditionally. I don't think I've ever seen her in a bad mood. She always has a smile on her face and always wants to help her fellow band members. She was an excellent leader, both as a section leader and as a drum major. And really, in everything that she did, it was very clear that she always put the band before herself and her needs. She always wanted to help the band as best as she could and really do the best job that she could, and was an outstanding flute player. I mean, really, I don't think she got enough credit for, how amazing she was and is at the flute. I know she's going to try to march next year at Duke University, which I think is awesome. And like I said about, all the others, she's going to be successful at whatever she does. I think she's going to do public health, which is awesome. So congratulations to Katie Heath, the winner of the Band Service Award. Our last individual award goes to an outstanding young man who really, got the leadership thing. And I had parents and even students come up to me and tell me, if it wasn't for this student, I wouldn't be in band, or I wouldn't have had the same experience. He took such care in what he did and really cared about the individuals. He's also a really terrific player. He came in as a good 9th grade student, and you might say differently, but really elevated his playing, and recently got accepted to the University, Michigan State University, where he will major in music ed and try to do this whole band director thing. It's a lot harder than it looks, but really pleased to honor this student, and hopefully one day my future colleague, Mr. Matthew Gutman, with the John Philip Sousa Award for outstanding participation and performance in band. So congratulations, Matthew. To all of our seniors, I'm going to sit down whenever I get a chance to and write you guys a letter and just tell you how much I care about you because I wasn't able to in person. Keep playing music, okay? And keep doing what you're doing, whether it's next year at college, joining the campus ensemble, or marching in the band at college, or maybe it's years down the road you dig out that trumpet again. I had a student from Sutton's Bay, my first job, email me or message me on Facebook a week ago and said, hey, I'm digging my trumpet back out. I can't wait to get back to it. So it's never too late to dig something back out, but I encourage you above all to keep going with music, no matter what kind of music it is or performance it is. Just keep going and keep making it a part of your life. It's so important to our world today, especially in the world that we live in, to have that performance and that artistry. So thank you, seniors, for an amazing 4 years, and I hope we can get together soon. And in case you guys were wondering, I meant to mention earlier, I feel like I have to mention I am wearing pants. So I did get dressed up in my tuxedo. My wife gave me a haircut yesterday so I could look nice for you guys, but wanted to make sure I mentioned that in case that came up in the comments. But seniors, we'll miss you so much. We want to now run through our class awards. Freshmen, you get your certificate, not today, but you will soon. Sophomores, you get your letters. Juniors, your pins. And seniors, we have a special gift for you that is on the way. So thank you guys so much. We love you. I love you. And I hope this will all be over soon and we can get together. So we're going to turn over to the next person, which I think is Scott Wolf and the orchestra.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my home office. Kind of a unique experience to be presenting our awards night from our homes this year. But extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. I want to share with you how proud I am of all of the orchestra members, band, choir, orchestra, theater, on all of the amazing accomplishments that we've been able to perform this year. From the dessert concert where we're all just getting to know each other, to our final symphony performances and campus and philharmonic performances at Orchestra Festival, which unfortunately were our last performances of the 2020 school year. Nonetheless, an incredible run of wonderful music done by all. Some of the highlights that I see over the year were was the performance at Fiddler on the Roof, our wonderful run with the theater department, choir and orchestra and band all together working so tirelessly for such a great performance. Some of the other large accomplishments, we had an amazing amount of people who performed at solo and ensemble this year and really thrived by performing and getting first division ratings and second division ratings all across the board. And then of course our final performances of this year, which were the Orchestra Festival performances. Campus, Philharmonic, and Symphony all receiving first division ratings. I'll share with you one moment from the symphony performance that just kind of will stick with me forever. Is in the middle of one of our works, in the middle of Jupiter, I looked out to the orchestra, as I always do, try to capture what people are feeling during a performance, and really witnessing some people just being moved so emotionally on that performance, and that will stick with me forever. There are so many individual accomplishments this year that this type of format just doesn't do it justice. But every year we offer awards to freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, and the campus orchestra, unbelievable leadership came through there. It's a pleasure to offer them those awards. The Philharmonic Orchestra, for the first time in the history of Bloomfield Hills High School, received first division ratings straight across the board. One of my proud moments as a teacher is having all three orchestras receive first division ratings at Orchestra Festival. It shows that students care, and they care enough to work hard enough to reach those super high levels of performance and taking joy on that. Sadly, we don't have a concerto concert this year to celebrate some of our amazing seniors that are graduating. And of course, we'll be missing out on the final performance, the final concert that showcases all of our ensembles. Unfortunately, we did not have Traub this year, which also is one of the culminating moments of a seniors class. But nonetheless, it is still an amazing group of musicians that have come through this program. While the seniors may not have their opportunity to have their full acknowledgement on stage through that concerto concert or the Traub Scholarship. I know that they will continue to thrive, and hopefully they will come back to perform with us when that opportunity arises. I know that the future of the orchestra program, music program will thrive. We've had an incredible donation that was made for the orchestra students to continue with private lessons and instruction. And because this was an anonymous donation, I can believe that it comes from every person that will be watching this video. That all the people that are part of the music program have contributed to this great donation. I have a couple of awards that I'd like to offer to some outstanding seniors. The MSBOA Scholar Instrumentalist Award is an award that's given by the Michigan State Band and Orchestra Association for a musician that not only exemplifies a high academic standard in their coursework, but also performs at a very high level as a musician. It is my pleasure to give this award to a student that is worked with me for the past 4 years as a violist. She's enrolled in my IB music class, so she thinks about music from an academic standpoint, and has worked with me as an independent study in preparation for her career in music. And she'll be attending the University of Cincinnati next year, Cincinnati Conservatory of Music, and the award goes to Celeste Meisel. The National School Orchestra Award is an award that is given to a musician who exemplifies a high level of performance at all times, not only in orchestral settings, but also in solo performance and chamber music, and also contributes to the ensemble in ways that help the ensemble grow. This year I've decided to give this award to two very, very well-deserving musicians, Maddie Tai Tang and Lila De Campos, both of which have, from the day that I started at Bloomfield Hills, went out of their way to make me feel comfortable as a teacher and to make sure that the ensembles that they were a part of were always thriving. So congratulations to those two ladies. My final award is the Orchestra Service Award, and this is my award given to people that exemplify music and the department as a whole. These musicians also have gone way out of their way to help me and others fit into the school and to fit into the music program, and have just, whenever asked, have said, how can I help? Those two musicians are Alan Yang and Melissa Liu, both musicians that have really helped me to keep the school afloat. One great acknowledgement about Alan for a moment, Alan Yang. Alan is a violinist, but also an incredible pianist. And on so many occasions, Alan was there to help students who just needed an accompanist to work with them so that they could perform at all kinds of different festivals or events. And at no point did Alan ever say no. Alan was always, yep, let me see if I can do it, let me see if I can help, and I'm happy to do it. So this concludes my portion of the awards night. I thank all of you for being such wonderful musicians. I apologize that we're not together to celebrate this moment, but know that I am always here to support all musicians. Thank you, and have a great evening.
hope you all are doing well and staying healthy in this unpredictable time. My name is Celeste Meisel, and I am Principal Violist in Symphony Orchestra. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Wolf, Mr. Posner, Mrs. Riley, Scott, and Mary for their continued support throughout the 4 years that I and the seniors have been in this program. I would also like to thank all the parents and grandparents who have supported their child or children in their pursuit of music. Thank you. Over the years, I have come to realize how important music is to myself and my friends in band, orchestra, choir, and tech. We have all grown up together in this program, and I've learned many lessons that will stick with us for the rest of our lives, whether we continue with music or not. I remember the first day I walked into the orchestra room my freshman year. The room was buzzing with this sort of nervous yet excited energy that I had never experienced before. From that moment, I never would have imagined that I would be where I am today, as I will be majoring in viola performance at the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music in the fall, hopefully. The situation, capital T, capital S, has definitely taught me to cherish the time that I spent in the music program. Through symphony, pit, chamber, and a string quartet/piano quintet, my friends and I have created some of my favorite memories that will stay with me forever. My first year was definitely a bit overwhelming, with being in symphony, playing Dvorak 8, playing Les Mis and pit, and all the senior concerto pieces. It was some of the most challenging music I'd ever played up to that point, but I got through, and so did everyone else. I think my grandma was most excited when I got into symphony in the second semester of my freshman year, because she said to me, I'm really glad that you have improved so much over the years and are now playing real orchestra music, because it was really tough going to those concerts when you were in middle school. Although it was hidden in a slight burn from my grandma, one of the lessons that has stuck with me is that it always gets better, and that applies to everything, not just music and orchestra. Not even a year ago, I didn't know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. All I knew is that I wanted music to be in it. Again, I never would have imagined that I would be where I am now. Being a senior and graduating in this time kind of feels like a fever dream. Because I am in the IB program, I'm pretty much done with school at this point, which is really nice. I need more time to play Animal Crossing, but don't worry, I'll be practicing my 40 hours as well. In all honesty, I am really sad and disappointed that I didn't get to finish off my senior year right by playing the last few concerts with my friends, which I had been looking forward to for the longest time, and I know all the seniors are feeling the same way. But I am proud to say that I played Jupiter for my last concert of the year at Festival. Also, Mr. Wolf, we're still waiting on you to dye your hair. Mr. Posner shaved his beard. Come on, get on it. I don't care that we're not in school. We still see you on Zoom every week. Anyways, in all seriousness, I couldn't recommend this program enough. Over the years, I have felt all the love from everyone, students, teachers, and parents. I've grown so much, not just as a musician, but as a person here, because there's always someone cheering you on or as a shoulder to cry on. The PA wing will always be my home away from home. We have really come together and created something amazing, so thank you. I hope that this program continues to thrive long after the senior class of 2020 and I are gone. I hope that we have left a legacy of constantly striving for improvement, but also having fun along the way. Thank you for a great 4 years, and stay healthy.
Thank you so much for logging in to celebrate along with us virtually. Know that you haven't left our thoughts since March 12th, and we do sincerely hope that this honors night gives you some happiness and sense of just how important you are to our performing arts family. The choir students have been busy this year, and I'm so thrilled by all of their accomplishments. Dessert concert, premiere concert, musical theater solo and ensemble, collage concert, caroling at Greenfield Village, caroling at the governor's residence, performing with the DSO, and solo and ensemble this past January. There has been plenty of musical growth this year. I would like to first acknowledge my freshman choir members. Blackhawk singers and vocalists have worked hard this year. Many have worked on projects in small sections and working in their small sectionals, and it's been wonderful to see leadership come through at this age. I'm so sorry not to have had more time to work with them as separate choirs, but I know that they will continue to do great work and will bring a lot of great sound to concert choir next year. Many of the sophomores are members of concert choir, with a few sophomores in Blackhawk singers and vocalists. This class has done a wonderful job and has gained confidence within their smaller sections, and they've been working hard on their sight reading, which is getting better every day. I'm proud of the work they've done. A few sophomore boys volunteered to stay in Blackhawk singers this year, and they've shown great leadership in that group, helping to continually support and encourage the freshmen to work hard and up to their potential. Watch out for the sophomore class, everybody. There are some phenomenal singers and musicians in the class of 2022. The juniors take up 3 of the choirs this year: Bloomfield Chorale, Concert Choir, and Jill's. Many of these students are 3-year choir kids and have gained an incredible amount of confidence in their abilities and are becoming strong musicians within their choirs. There has been a wonderful leadership from this junior class, and I could not be more proud of the positivity they bring into choir. Before I speak to the class of 2020, I would also like to mention those choir students who participated in extra Michigan School Vocal Music Association events. Musical theater solo and ensemble in November, solo and ensemble in January, and many were going to attend state solo and ensemble this April had it not been canceled. Each student received excellent and good scores and encouraging comments from their judges. Those students are freshman Sarah Haddad, Momin Mubin, and Sydney Sayrain. Sophomores Nikita Harvey, Catherine Recknagel, and Karina Yang. Juniors Toby Gittleman, Esty Moss, Anna Pratalis, Joey Rankin, and Ella Sitter. And senior Lindsay Beck. The Jills also performed at solo and ensemble this year, receiving a near perfect score of 29 out of 30. They were given a rave review by their judge, who was very impressed by the girls. Also, juniors Toby Gittleman and Anna Pratalis were chosen to perform at Michigan Youth Arts Festival in Kalamazoo. This year marks the second time that a musical theater ensemble would have been included, and the second year in a row that Anna Pratalis was invited to participate. Bravo. Finally, I'd like to talk to my seniors. Class of 2020, this is an unprecedented year for you. There are 32 of you graduating from choir, and let me be the first to say how sorry I am that our time together was cut short. Many of you I've had in choir throughout your time in high school. A handful of you came in and out of the program and knew that I always had a place for you and wanted you there. And some of you only just joined this year, and I can't tell you how happy I am that you did, and that I had the opportunity to meet you and share music with you. Dr. Oliver Sacks, MD, said, "Music is much more than a beautiful luxury. It is a fundamental way of expressing our humanity, and it is often our best medicine." I know that this year has not ended in the way we all thought it would. For example, I've traditionally given each senior a purple rose at our farewell concert, and while we can't do that this year, I'm going to work on something in lieu of that. I am so proud of you. Sharing music with all of you has been an honor that I do not take lightly. In sharing music, we have been united together, and I will ever think back on you when I hear certain songs. I think Fred Rogers said it best. "I like you as you are, exactly and precisely. I think you turned out nicely, and I like you as you are." Thank you. Also, to our boosters, thank you to our 165 plus choir students this year, and thank you parents and community for your continued support. Every year, I give out the Director's Award for Chorus and National School Choral Award to deserving seniors who have been leaders going above and beyond. The Director's Award this year is going to a student who has been a leader, sometimes quietly and sometimes not, since she was a freshman. I have so enjoyed watching this young woman grow up as I've known her for many years, and I know that she will be missed by many in our department. She's confident, exhibits leadership, has high expectations for herself, and has loved her time in the Performing Arts Department. Our recipient this year is worthy of this recognition and much more, so congratulations to Gretchen Peters. The National School Choral Award is given in recognition of singular merit, ability, and achievement, of outstanding contributions to the success of the school vocal program, and of an unusual degree of loyalty, cooperation, and high qualities of conduct by the general consent of the music faculty, school officials, and others. This year's recipient has been involved in choir. musical theater solo and ensemble, district solo and ensemble, state solo and ensemble, marching band, color guard, the BHHS equestrian team, and was most recently seen on our stage, deciding to leave her family and head out into a new, unknown world. The world needs more cheerful, musical, and lovely young women out in it like our very own Lindsay Beck. Please, when you all find a moment, join me in congratulating both Gretchen and Lindsay. Thank you again, all of you, for your support of the choir program here at Bloomfield Hills High School.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Beck, and I have been in the choir program at BHHS for 4 years. I started in vocalese my freshman year, and then my sophomore year I was in concert choir, and then my junior and senior year I was in the Jills. And I can't recommend starting your freshman year off with a choir class enough. I mean, it's just a great place to let go of stress and be who you need to be at that moment. If you need to cry, you can cry. If you need to laugh and get stress out, you can do that. And you're doing it all while being productive and making music, which I think is really cool because the beginning of high school can be really, really stressful and overwhelming because it's a lot of kids you don't know and it's new classes. So I think that choir really helped me make that transition. And then my sophomore year, I loved concert choir. I had such a good time. It's a lot of work and there's a lot more people, but I think that helped me understand more what a choir is and like that you're just a part of it, but you're all moving towards the same goal. So I think that really helped me understand that. And then my junior year, I was in the Jills and I auditioned for the Jills and I got in. And it was very exciting because I had wanted to be a Jill for a very long time. And I think that my junior year was a good time for me to be in Jills because I started to find out who I really was and like who I wanted to be in high school, and I think that being in the Jills really helped me figure that out, and I was able to connect with all of the girls in that class and express myself through music, which was super important for me. And then my senior year, I was elected to be a Jill mom, which is basically a section leader, but you also have other responsibilities, and you're kind of just, I mean, it kind of is what it sounds like. You're the mom of the group, so me and the other Jill mom, her name is Gretchen, she's great, had a lot of fun learning about the rest of the girls in the group and the beauty checkers, which were Chloe and Caroline are great people, and it was so fun to be able to have kind of like a leadership position in the choir and be able to kind of guide people through their junior year, which can be a little bit of a transitional period in everyone's life. So I really enjoyed being able to teach people how to ring their bells and then doing all of our caroling gigs in December, which can be really hectic and crazy at times, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was so much fun because you're spending so much time with people you love that it doesn't really feel overwhelming until the very end. You just say like, wow, look at all this work that I did. So I really can't recommend being in choir enough. I mean, it's so much fun and it's good for you, and I think that it can just help you in so many ways that you wouldn't expect. So I really, really recommend it. So thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Caroline Paddock, and I have been in the choir program at Bloomfield for all 4 years. I started out in vocalese, and then I went to concert choir, and then I made it into Jills, which I was so happy about. Because for freshman and sophomore year, I just looked up to the kids in Jills and chorale, and they just seemed so mature, and they were intimidating, and they were best friends with Mrs. Riley, and I was just like, I want that. I want to be in Jills or chorale, and I finally got there, so I was so happy about that. And junior year was probably my favorite year of choir because it was the year that I just made really great connections with all of the girls in that choir, not just a few. And I felt my relationship with Mrs. Riley totally matured, and we all just became really great friends. And I know that I will keep all those people close to my heart after high school. I know I'll talk with them. I know I'll talk to Mrs. Riley. And so that year really just strengthened a lot of friendships, and it strengthened my relationship with choir and singing and just being all in with it. And then senior year came and I was a beauty checker in Jill's, which basically means that me and my other beauty checker, Chloe, we had to like make sure the girls' hair was right, that they were wearing the right shoes or tights, and that the uniform was good. So that was our job. So it was nice to, you know, have like authority, you could say, but just kind of be one of those seniors in Jill's and kind of like help the juniors become comfortable and try to give them like the same level of comfort and friendship that we were all given. And so what I would just say to underclassmen coming into the choir program, it is a great place to be. And even if you think that you're the only one in your friend group who likes to sing and wants to be a part of choir, and if that's turning you away, there you will find your place in the choir program so easily, and you will find your people there, and you will walk into that classroom knowing that you are loved and supported, and that if you need to cry, you can cry, and it's okay, and you'll get a hug. Everyone does it. I've been there. If you are just giggly that day and you need to laugh, you can laugh, as long as you try to keep it under wraps and get your work done. And that sometimes, you know, it will be hard work and you will have a lot of performances, but you just gotta hang in there, because in the end, it is just such a fun place to be. It is such a great community in the school, and it has been one of my favorite parts of high school. Just, you know, if you had like a tough class, but you know you're going into choir next, you can kind of take a breath. And so I have loved the choir program so much, and if you're thinking about going into it, I totally encourage that. And that's all. Bye.
Hi, my name is Gretchen Peters, and I've been involved with Bloomfield's high school theater program since I was a freshman. I think I've always known I wanted to do theater throughout high school, and I think I saw this when I was a 5th grader in Lasser High School's production of The Wiz. I was just a munchkin, and even at the time I could recognize the people there were super positive and outgoing and welcoming to others, and I wanted to be just like them in high school, and I did. I walked into my first audition of freshman year, and I was absolutely terrified and super nervous, but I was welcomed with the same type of energy I had seen years before, and I knew I made the right decision. I think knowing that I had a place of comfort and people accepting me at the start of high school made me want to stay and grow to love theater. I think everyone should join theater in high school, or at least give it a try. I've seen so many people just do it for fun, but then realize that it's more than just putting on a costume or pretending to be a character. I mean, I really started doing theater just for fun, but as the years have gone by, I've really realized the impact it has on my life. Growing to become a leader as an upperclassman made me realize the impact it could also have on others. Being a positive, outgoing, welcoming person like I had seen theater kids years before really fulfilled my purpose of why I do theater. It's such a special place where people come together regardless of age to put on a beautiful piece of art. The people are truly the heart of this program. Everyone loves each other unconditionally through auditions, rehearsals, tech week, and taking their final bow. I wouldn't be the person who I am today without people in theater. Even if someone is just doing it for fun or trying to build a resume, I think everyone can benefit from doing theater because they build these great types of relationships. As I leave high school, I think my favorite memories that I've made are in the theater. I wouldn't have this opportunity without Mario Pogret, Scott Cleveland, and Jessica Riley. Each one of you makes this space so inclusive and loving, and this program would not be the same without any of you. Having a core group of directors that only wish to see their students succeed is the true gold behind this program, and I think that's true for everyone who does it. Everyone, students and directors, wants everyone to succeed and everyone to have fun, and I think that's the thing that I take away after my 4 years at BHHS. As much as I just loved acting and pretending to be a different character, the relationships I built with my directors and friends are something that I would never have if I hadn't walked into my first audition as a freshman.
Hello, Scott Cleveland here, Technical Director at the Bloomfield Hills High School Performing Arts Center. It's my turn. I get to give out the Gianni Morelli Excellence in Theater Award. There's only one award given every year in technical theater. One award to cover all the different skill sets that go into technical theater. The design, implementation, and performance of lighting, sound, stage management, direction, rigging, scenery, properties, costumes, and makeup. I will be going to the script. Aside from knowing and mastering all these different fields, and each one of them is a viable career choice, the candidate must also genuinely have a heart of gold. Must be a caring, kind person with a curious mind. In the past, this award has been given to a stage manager, 2 lighting designers, 1 sound designer, and its master carpenter namesake, Mr. Gianni Morelli. This year's recipient is a creative. We stopped giving titles and just started calling her creative. This creator has been responsible for the look of almost all the productions during her tenure at Bloomfield Hills High School. As a talented properties artisan, she is also an upholsterer, scenic artist, sign painter, designer, stage technician, and spotlight operator. She has guided the looks and feel of Tsarist Russia, Shakespeare set in the Dayglow 80s, Cinderella's Once Upon a Time, 1950s farces, 1930s film noir. These diverse settings were captured perfectly. And remember, this is no small-scale operation. Where most theaters neglect their biggest chance to create, she used it as her canvas. Her canvas was the stage floor, 50 foot wide by 20 foot deep. It was huge, and every time it was beautiful and different from the time before. The 2020 Gianni Morelli Award for Theater Excellence is awarded this year, 2020, to Mrs. Jacqueline Foreman. Congratulations, Jackie. Well, that's a wrap. From all of us at the Bloomfield Hills High School Performing Arts Center, thank you very much. All the students for a great job this year, and to the parents for making it possible for letting us play and learn alongside your kids this year. Until we see each other again, ta-ta.
Hello, I'm Mary Bograt. Although our year has ended abruptly, the theater department has a great deal to recognize and to celebrate. Out of the 4 performing arts departments, for many, theater doesn't begin until 2:30. Theater rehearsals and productions involve students from all of our departments and include students that aren't in any performing arts classes. We welcome everyone to participate on and off the stage. Many departments help support the theater, such as the art department. They create some of our beautiful program art, and the robotics team, who helps design with special props. Tonight we recognize the actors, technicians, artists, musicians, and creative team design members, faculty, and parents for giving our shows life. I would like to first acknowledge the tech crew. They can solve any problem creatively. If you were on tech crew for any show, thank you. You aren't seen if you're doing your job, and you might not feel like that applause is for you. But when audience members aren't sitting there for minutes at a time waiting for set changes to occur, and when they see your beautiful costumes and props and beards that transform their friends and family members, and they can actually hear the lines, they are clapping for you. The creative team is comprised of student stage managers, directors, and designers, and they're chosen through an interview process. These student artists and leaders are what drive our productions. This year, the creativity and teamwork that came out of production meetings was incredible. Thank you. Actors, whether you were a lead role or you were in the ensemble, you created memorable characters. I'm thankful that our administration welcomes more productions and opportunities for students. Thank you for providing such great entertainment this year. At this time, I'd like to recognize the cast, crew, creative team, and orchestra musicians for taking on the daunting task of producing a beautiful Fiddler on the Roof. Last year, a small group boldly took a risk to participate in the Mid-Michigan Theater Festival. This year, our touring team grew to over 50. I'd like to recognize the cast, crew, and amazing creative team of Clue. We had a huge turnout of singers for our Broadway review, Victors and Villains, that performed with only 6 group rehearsals. I'd like to recognize all of the on and off stage participants, Francis Wambe for hosting, and the fabulous jazz band. Our final show of the season, Shakespeare in Love, remains in rehearsal. Through Zoom, we have found a way to rehearse, have production meetings, and keep the momentum up for what will someday be a beautiful show. The tenacity of this cast and creative team is inspirational. As the co-curricular aspect of the theater department grows, so is the need to offer more theater classes. This year, we were able to offer different level acting classes. Thank you to first semester Acting 1 students who performed and helped produce a children's musical for our district's first and second grade students. The first ever Acting 3 class, also known as AP Varsity Acting, produced The Secret in the Wings in a creative space that was the highlight of my day. This year, theater production classes have doubled. Besides learning stagecraft, these students problem solve, build scenery, props, costumes, as well as learn sound, lighting design, rigging, and stage management. Our designers have taken on the 8th grade productions at all 3 middle schools. This provides our students with more design and leadership projects for their portfolios, a venue to use their skills in a creative way, and it helps set the stage for our tech program future. The middle school students and the teachers love this. This year, many students will be inducted into Troop 8055 of the International Thespian Society. Through hard work and dedication, these candidates have earned the right to be called thespians. This organization was named for Thespis, a Greek actor who, according to legend, was the first actor to step out of the Greek chorus and say his own lines. This is why actors are called thespians. Along with the students being inducted, we have one staff member that we are surprising with an honorary induction, Mrs. Jessica Riley. Mrs. Riley and students, congratulations and welcome to the International Thespian Society. You will be officially inducted during the Benny Awards. I'm keeping watch over your certificates, ID cards, pins, and bumper stickers until we can be together again safely. And seniors, I have your cords. Thank you to the ITS officers from this year, co-presidents Joey Rankin and Jack Hale, Catherine West, Lauren Spiegel, Gretchen Peters, Megan DiFrancesco, Anna Partalis, and Catherine Recknagel. Each year, we attend a thespian conference where students compete, audition for scholarships, and take master's classes in acting, dance, and production aspects. The following students received excellent assessments at the Thespian Festival this year. Congratulations to Jonathan Margosian and Momin Mubin. The following students received superior assessments at the Thespian Festival. Congratulations to Toby Gittleman, Eddie Eichenhorn, Joey Rankin, Alexa Clapp, Lucy Nass, Catherine West, Lauren Spiegel, Jack Hale, Cassie English, Cole Bewig, Megan DiFrancesco, and Carol Cochran. Seniors Catherine West, Ronnie Kane, Corinne Peterson, and Lauren Spiegel collectively earned over $1 million in scholarship offers. The weekend concluded with a show-stopping performance from our own singer, actress, and stage manager, Lindsay Beck. Anna Partalis and Eddie Eichenhorn were selected for the Sutton Foster Musical Theater Awards, which honors the state's finest in musical theater. Mid-Michigan Theater Festival Award winners were Jack Hale for his portrayal of Professor Plum and Megan DiFrancesco for her role as Miss Scarlet, and Natasha Mehta and Ella Dean for Properties Design. Each year, ITS troop directors give out an award for service. We have 2 recipients this year. The Service Award goes to Gretchen Peters and Catherine West for their contributions. They both worked countless hours this year and started early last summer. We had our first theater meet and greet, which was a huge success, created a haunted theater, organized the Stratford Festival workshops, and a princess sing-along with night training. The next award is the Distinguished Acting Award, renamed 3 years ago as the Tina Greenlee Distinguished Acting Award. This year we have 2 recipients, Corinne Peterson and Lily Hollerith. Corinne Peterson was an original Acting 3 member where she not only student directed The Secret in the Wings, she filled in for a very sick cast member just moments before a performance. This year, Corinne was one of Tevye daughters in Fiddler on the Roof, Mrs. White in Clue, and her final performance, we hope, is Shakespeare in Love as Lady de Lesseps. Corinne was an original Love Fester and took a theater class every year. The evidence of her growth was seen during her scholarship auditions. Corinne, thank you for your contributions. Lily is a recipient that has been acting in Bloomfield Hills High School productions years before she even attended high school. Lily is an original Love Fest actress, was featured again this year as Mrs. Peacock, and both of the Sutton Foster adjudicators wrote about this actress. And if I had a nickel for every person who saw the Broadway touring company of Fiddler at the Fisher and sent me a text during intermission saying how much better Lily Hollerith was at the portrayal of Yenta than the professional touring actress, I could actually build the Black Box Theater. Thank you, Lily, for 4+ years of fabulous characters and for not being afraid to stand up for others. I'm thrilled that I get to work with such talented students, the finest colleagues, and parents who always go the extra mile. Thank you to the Booster Board, Tracy Hollerith, Nancy Recknagel, and Julie Sitter. Thank you to Michelle English for the numerous hours spent working with tickets, and Mary Spiegel for handling everything sweet. And a special thank you to all the parents who actually like going on overnight festival trips. I can't wait to celebrate it together again as a theater and a performing arts community. And just so you know, I'm not really in the auditorium right now, but my heart is. I miss you. I love you. Be safe. And thank you for everything this year.